Okay, we are now in Zao. I told you that we are going to test the drones, both drones, the Mavic 2 that I will show you in a second, and the Phantom 4 RTK. So this is the antenna that you saw in the room when I was showing all the drones, and this is Zao Mountain. This is one station that you see below. Is a station, the middle station of the mountain is called Jujyo Kogen station, and there you can see the ropeway going up and down. This mountain is very famous for ski, so most of the people that come here come actually in winter, but in summer and especially in autumn, this season, many people come here to see it's, in Japanese it's called koyo, which means a changing color of leaves. If you see in that direction over there behind the antenna, you will see that some of the trees, especially the beech, the oak, I don't know how to call the Mizuki. Mizuki is a name in Japanese, and there is another one, an Nakamado. I don't remember the names in English at the moment, but all of them are changing the leaf, the color. And of course there is also some maple varieties that are also changing color. Of course there are some evergreen bushes like the one you see there, the small one near the broken tree, and that one is actually keeps the same color the whole year. This is the antenna that I showed you before. Here, if we remove this, you have the battery. These batteries are the same as I showed you before for the controller of the Phantom RTK, but it's also the same battery for the antenna. So we have two for the antenna and two for the drone. Usually they last for about 5 hours, which is quite good for us. I think the longest we can fly a drone in one day anyway will be 8 hours, 9 hours, depending on the season. If it is summer, of course, we have more light during the day, so it will be maybe possible to fly, but it's already quite a long time. And anyway, for 8 hours we will need like 15-20 batteries that we don't have. So I think 5 hours is good. So we fly just to complete some work that we are doing here. We change the battery. Some message from there. This is I don't know if Hinako-chan can show you. These chairs are for skiers actually. So in winter you come with your ski and you go up and down, or your snowboard. But we have just used it now because we brought too much luggage and it's quite heavy, and this slope is really steep. So we decided to come that way, and it was definitely much more comfortable. So here is the launching pad. I don't know, I didn't have enough time to explain you about it. We have two colors. This color or this color, whatever you want. And this is the drone I show you in the office. So here we already have the card already installed here because it's ready to take pictures. So all the pictures that we take with the drone are actually saved in the drone itself, not in the controller. Just to make that clear. And here we have the other one that I mentioned to you, the Mavic 2 Pro, because we're going to fly 3 missions here today. One is with the RTK following the terrain at 90 meters, and then with this drone we are going to fly another 2 missions also at 90 meters. One is for following the terrain, and the other one is not following the terrain. We want to do a study analyzing or discussing the benefits of using following the terrain and using RTK. So this drone doesn't have RTK, and because it's cheaper, If there is not much difference, then with a drone like this will be enough to do any of the work that we want to do in forestry. But if following terrain plus RTK is an advantage, it shows a huge advantage, then our recommendation will be to definitely use this kind of drones. The difference, of course, is the price. This drone, as I mentioned before, costs about $2,000, and that one over there costs about $5,200, $5,300. I will walk a little bit with Hinako-chan, so you can see the forest from a close view of the forest, because I want to show you the fir, which is in Japanese is called Aomori Todomatsu. Is the tree that you saw today with Hatran in Hatran's presentation, and it's the tree that is the green tree. It's like the, if you just to give you an idea, is similar to the Christmas tree. The Christmas tree is Picea abies, which is a very popular tree in Europe, and this one here is Abies mariesi. So the Abies genus and the Picea genus look similar. They have some difference, but to the non-trained eye person, it looks the same. So in this case, we only have Maries fir here in all this mountain, and in Hokkaido, which is in the north, there is another fir, which is the Abies sahalensis, which occupies a large area of forest in Hokkaido Island. Here in Honshu, we have Abies mariesis from Nagano in the south, even a bit more farther south, and it extends up to Aomori, which crosses all the Zao Mountains, goes through Aomori, Iwate, Akita, Miyagi, Fukushima, Nagano, parts of Niigata and Toyama. So I will show you in a second the other one. So Hinako-chan, we are going to walk there, but we stop here so we start flying the drone. All right? Okay, we're ready to fly now. Hervé, bring it up. So the drone now, it's going up to 90 meters, which is the height that we have planned, that we have decided in the flight plan. So now the drone is ready to go, and there you see, the drone is going down the hill, so it will start from below. These are the most scary. These are the scariest moments when you know if the drone is actually doing what you tell it to do. Can you see it? Where is it? On top of the house? Are you looking at the camera?
No, actually at the drone, when it will get close to the camera.
But with the drone, okay, I can see it. Now it's going down.
Yes.
I think it stopped now, Hervé.
Yes.
Now it's flying the mission.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Wonderful. All right. Can you see Hinako-chan?
Yes.
Okay. So now, as you can see, the drone is following the terrain. So it's a quite some distance from here. How far is the drone from us, Herbert?
Uh,
250 meters. So the drone is, this is information that we can get from the screen. So it's flying really nice. We are always afraid that the drone will hit the tower. For example, you see now the drone and the tower from here at least seem to be pretty close, but that's not the case actually. So look at the drone, and here there is something interesting because I think there is like a depression on the other side, right? You got it there.
The DSM server.
Ah, okay.
This DSM seems to be better.
All right. So it's not showing that big depression.
No.
All right. It's going up, Herbert. I can see it is going up. All right. This flying is very stressing, especially with the following the terrain function is very stressing because it depends a lot on the DSM you provide to the drone. So the most precise it is, the easier for the drone is to follow the terrain. But if there is something with that information, the drone can get a bit confused and just go straight and hit a tree. And we don't want to lose this $5,200 toy in such a way. You can see now the drone is going back. So it already hit this part of the mountain and now it's going down again. So it's flying at 90 meters. And I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but from here we can clearly see that the drone is going down the mountain. These are really, really beautiful machines. They're very smart. What about the speed, Herbert?
4 meters a second.
Okay, so the drone is flying 4 meters per second.
You can see that it's relaxing actually.
Yeah. It's not going so fast.
The default speed was 6.
All right. So as you can see, there are many things to take into consideration here. Of course, the obstacles, the DSM, which are actually guiding the drone, the speed of the drone, which is now 4 meters per second. The default was 6 meters per second, but last time we were taking images here, it was our impression that the drone was flying too fast. So now you see the drone is turning and now it's going back again, back up. So it's climbing up the mountain again. So we also have to think about, of course, the tower, which is much higher, the tower of the ropeway, which is much higher than the trees themselves. And now the wind. When the wind is strong, usually it creates a problem with the trees, because we are trying to take pictures of a tree which is much better if the tree is still, because you do take better images. But if there is strong wind, the tree is moving, and then you get a blurred picture of that tree, which is not what we want. We still have good information, of course, but blurring sometimes doesn't make it nice, especially when you're using deep learning, because you want to have a much clearer picture. I will show you some of the vegetation here. There's different kinds of trees and bushes here, but this is one of the nastiest vegetation here in the mountain. If when we are up the mountain, you will see it better. This is some kind of bamboo. Okay? So it's very strong. It's very strong. And here it's not so tall. But up in the mountain, you can have this bamboo reaching heights of 1.5, 1.8 meters. So I am 1.82. So sometimes I cannot see other people because I'm completely covered by the bamboo. And there are other ones in the coastal forest. When we went last year, there was one that was 4 meters, almost 4 or 5 meters tall. So imagine entering the forest with this vegetation. It's so difficult to walk 1, 2, 3 meters. So we usually use some kind of knife to cut it, but it's tremendous work. So here is this one is small, but up the mountain you will see a lot of them. This is the fir. It's not very nice. This fir was not the example that I wanted to show you. It's small. It seems like the growth is stunted. It's not growing very well. And if you can see, part of the top of the tree has fallen somehow. And that one there, it's also, this area is has been affected severely by the bark beetle. So this tree is also not very healthy. This is side 1, and this here on my right is side 2 that you saw with Hatran. And you will we are finding in the new images that there are many sick trees here. So this is probably one example of that. I will show you one tree that at this altitude already grows like a bush. So it doesn't grow to its full potential. And it's this tree, it's oak. It's Japanese, it's called Mizunara. And if you see now, you can see the amazing changing of color of the leaves. These leaves become very yellow by the end of October. Yellow, a very beautiful yellow. But you can see there how the color, the green color is fading away because of course the chlorophyll is dying out. So the green that we usually see and that produces that green color in leaves is also fading away, and that's why you have this color. This is the season when the leaves start losing also their nutrients because they go back to the tree, the nitrogen, the phosphorus, the potassium, but mainly nitrogen and phosphorus. And this is something that I find incredibly amazing here. It's the same tree, but you see even the same tree species changes the color in a different way. And I always mention that the tree has its own personality. Each tree has its own personality, and every tree changes its color as they want. So it's not that one species will change the color of the leaves in the same way, but it will each tree will change the colors of the leaves in a completely different pattern. I think the drone is on top of us at the moment, so we will not move because I don't want to distort the image. And so we will stand here until the drone finishes. I think it's already going to finish. So now you have an idea of how much the drone, or in terms of time, need to fly to cover an area of 3 hectares. So this is this site number 1 is about 3 hectares, and we are already about to finish. So the drone is already going down because I'm not sure if the Herbert, the data finished or you're going to change the battery? Okay. So all this area was finished with 1 battery because we are flying now at 90 meters. Before we used to fly at 60, with the RTK we have much more precision, and the camera is also a bit better than the Mavic, so we are getting very nice images from it. So this helps the overlapping, of course decreases the time of flying, and also allows us to have more batteries to cover more area in the mountain. Set the mission to the drone. You don't send the mission to the drone right away. You bring the drone up, and when the drone is at about 20 meters high, then you send the mission. So let's say you have a safety area for the drone, understand what the mission is. Because sometimes we have given the mission to the drone when it's on the ground, and it's like the drone doesn't care if there is a tree next to it or a cable or anything, just goes to the altitude where the mission has to start. And there is an airplane behind the drone. It looks like the drone is competing with the plane. Now the drone is going to follow the terrain, so it's going to do what the other drone did. It's amazing how the drone is looking for the position where it needs to start. So now it started here, because the field that we are covering is like a triangle. I will show you here. This is a poster that we made before. So we always bring these posters here to know where we are. So this is a this is the site that we are filming now, and this is not one of the best ones that we have. There is another one actually, right? This one. So this one was done when we were flying at 60 meters, and it was done last year. So it's almost the same as the one we had, the same season as the one now. If you see, this is Hervey and me maybe at the time, flying the drone. And so we are in the same position today. With Hinako-chan we were walking this area, and the drone is photographing all this area. So all this was done with photographs, I don't know, 300, 400 pictures, and all of them are put together, and an ortho mosaic is created. And all these trees are in a more or less vertical position, and we can see the forest. So we know exactly where the fir are, where the beech are, where the Nanakamado, which I don't remember the name in English, is. So all this vegetation is possible to be seen now because of this orthomosaic. So and the dimensions are very clear, so we know the distance from one point to another, and when we create the canopy height model we can know the height of the trees. You can see even the towers, the cables, and there is a distortion when the car of the roadway car passes by. So this is a distortion that we need to deal with, but everything is doable in the software that we use. So we analyze these orthomosaics in two softwares. One is ArcGIS and the other one is GIMP. But GIMP we usually use it for deep learning. And here you can see this is site 1. So this is the site that we use, and the side 2, which is here, and it's also here. Is this one. This one. So side 1 finished here, and then we start taking pictures of side 2. So when we take pictures of side 2, we are here. So now the position has changed, and then also the forest structure has changed, because now we have more fir trees, and we have deciduous or broadleaf vegetation, but they're lower in number and lower in height. And you can even see Sasa more clearly here than in side number 1. So when we finish here, mission 1, we are going to go to the other side, this area here, and we will take pictures of this side with the RTK. And we can observe the drone, how the drone is moving from here, because this is a bit like a small tower, and then we can follow with binoculars. We can follow the drone, especially for the following terrain, which is always what we are more concerned about. When you fly at the same height, you don't need to worry about, because the drone will always fly at the same height. But when it's following the terrain, it's always the concern. Okay, we will continue filming when we are in side 2. I hope we can go today to side 5, which is Hinako-chan's site. It's an area where all the trees are dead, with the most severe damage of bark beetle was suffered by trees in that area. I think 92-93% of the trees are dead, but there is an interesting phenomenon that this side of the mountain, which is the southwest, is the most affected by the bark beetle, but the other side of the mountain, even at the same height, the northeast side, the trees seem to be at least the forest, the percentage of forest that is affected by the bark beetle is very small. So this is, there are many environmental factors that control that, but when we are there, I will show you this site. It's really interesting. All right? All right, now we are in site number 3. We were in site 1, 2, we skipped it, so we are now number 3, and behind you, Hinako-chan is going to turn around. There is site number 4 is here in the corner, and the one up where you see the ropeway car coming down, that's our site number 5, which at the moment is getting covered by fog. As Hatran mentioned in the afternoon today, this is an area we have this fog problem quite often, and even though the weather was really beautiful, the fog is coming, but it's not as bad as last two weeks ago when we came. All the area where we are now was actually covered by fog, but not site number 1, and that's why we could do it. I will show you here. It's getting a bit cold here. Very quickly. This is again the oak. In Spanish it's called roble. The leaf is very hard, and you can see here also, as I show you below, the colors are changing. I wanted to show you one that is very common here. Let's go here. In the images, I don't know if we will be able to show them to you or not. The orthomosaic, you will see one red that is everywhere. Here. Okay. Here, this is the Sasa that I told you before. Sasa everywhere, and we have this. I always forget the name in English, because in Japanese it's very easy. It's Nanakamado. So this leaf, it has in Spanish it's called aserrado, so like teeth. It has like teeth around, and it has this fruit. which I heard, I never ate it, but I heard that it's not really tasty. It's not really nice. I want to look for some maple, but I cannot see maple around. Can we see maple? This is there? Okay. You know, maple is very famous. We know maple because of Canada. Canada, the maple leaf, it's even in the flag, I think. But in Japan, I was very surprised to see so many varieties of maple. They're really, really beautiful, beautiful leaves. This one here is called Hauichi. In Japanese, it's called Hauichi Wakaede. The colors are amazing, amazing. The different types have different colors. This becomes also red, yellow, depending on the time when you come. I think in summer, of course, it was green. This, if I am not wrong, is called Acer japonicum or Acer nipponicum. One of those names. One is Hauichi Wakaede and the other one is Tetsu Kaede, which is also here. One of them is nipponicum, the other one is japonicum. But the genus where maple trees belong is called Acer, or Acer if you want. Acer or Acer japonicum, Acer nipponicum, Acer chonosky, which is the one that is very, very popular here too. You find it. Hinako-chan, who is now filming, and I will film her tomorrow, so you can meet her. She is if you see the house of the ropeway, and her is there. If you see the house of the ropeway, the left side, which is an area that covers almost 6 hectares, is Hinako-chan site. In that area, almost 93% of the trees are dead, and Hinako-chan just told me that there are 2,400 dead trees in that area. And the trees that are alive or that are still healthy, or at least not dead, are the ones that are below the top of the mountain. This is in Peru also, of course, or in many other countries, of course, you also have something that is called the tree line. The tree line is defined as the line where trees still can grow, but it's the limit. So that's why it's called the tree line. So this is the tree line here. And by, let's say, as a basic knowledge in forestry, everyone knows that the trees in the tree line are very sensitive to changes. Climate change, anthropogenic changes, any disturbance can have serious consequences in this type of the trees that grow in this area. So here in 2013, there was a big defoliator outbreak. Defoliator trees are divided in 2 groups. I don't remember at the moment. Xylophagos, I think, is one of the names of all the insects that eat leaves. And in the other group, which I will mention when I'm in the class, I don't remember right now, are the bark beetles, which are the right term, I think, is I like to call them the drillers, because they drill inside the tree and destroy the tree. So these 2 groups are sometimes attack one single forest at the same time, well, in sequence. So, and that's what happened here. There was a defoliator in 2013 that ate the leaves, make the tree weak, and bark beetle has the potential, the property that realizes when the tree is weak. There must be some chemical that the trees stop producing, and that's why the bark beetle can attack these trees. So the bark beetle attacked all these trees, and now all of them are dead. If you see there, I told you Hinako-chan site is the one on the left, and one other student, Peihen, who is actually from China and is in China now because of the corona, cannot come to Japan. Her side is on the other side. So even though both sides have suffered the same consequence of bark beetle outbreak and severe damage in both forests, it seems that they are both recovering in different way. At least on the left side, we can still find some trees that are sick or are still alive, but on the other side, we find no tree at all, and no seedlings, which is more important. In Hinako-chan's side, we still find some seedlings, but on the other side, completely dead. So this is something that we also want to compare. Why it's not the same, even though it looks the same. So it might be because of some terrain characteristics. It might be because of the sasa size, because it seems higher on the other side than here. So there is something that must be playing, a factor that must be playing a role in the way the outbreak affects forests that are so close, and both of them are in the tree line. And behind that house that you see there, so on the other side, this is the southwest side of the mountain. On the other side, in the northeast side, the trees are not completely, but most of them are healthy. So even though they are in the tree line, the insects must have reached that area, but the trees have not been damaged, at least not on this magnitude. So that is Hisaya-chan is going to study there. You will meet her also during the Sakura Science seminar. She's studying. She will compare the northeast side of the mountain with the southeast side and see what is the difference. Well, the obvious difference is the size, the direction of the slope. But we want to know, quantify how much that single effect imposes on the health of the forest. It might be other factors such as, of course, it's related to the direction of the slope, and one very very important is the snow melt. Because with satellite images that we have been looking at from Google Earth, we realized that this side of the mountain, the southwest side of the mountain, the snow melts faster than on the other side. And these trees, the fir, they like heavy or thick snow depth. So this is another process that I will explain more in detail when Michael, who is a PhD student, who is in Germany at the moment, explained his study on snow. This is a huge new topic. This is not only related to forestry but more to climate. But this is a very interesting topic too, that will help us solve or explain what has happened in this forest. And our intention is to see different kinds of forests, this similar type of forest, but in different locations in Japan. Because since Japan is a very long country, the climate is very different from south to north. So warmer in the south, of course, colder in the north, longer growing seasons in the south, shorter growing seasons in the north, light conditions, longer in the south, shorter in the north, in winter, and vice versa in summer. So all these factors we want to consider to understand better the effect of climate on trees, and effect of climate on bark beetle, and effect of bark beetle on trees, of course. Okay, I leave you with this. Tomorrow we keep filming, but what you're going to see is what I show you until now. So I hope we can take also a video with the drone, so you can see a view of the whole forest. All right, see you.